thought today we could talk about the water cycle. Now you guys might remember from during the school year we talked about the water cycle, but now that we're home, I thought we could talk about it again. So I have this poster and it's labeled water cycle. And this is how all of the water in the world gets transported around the world, because there is no such thing as new water. All the water on our planet has been here since the dinosaurs. So if you go wash your hands right now, the water coming out of your faucet might be the water a dinosaur drank, because the water on our planet is always going through a cycle. There's no such thing as new water. It's always the same water going through this cycle, and it's called the water cycle. So I have a book to read, and it is called The Many Adventures of Drippy the Raindrop. And while we're reading this story, this character here, his name's Drippy, and he's a water droplet, and we're gonna go through each step of the water cycle with Drippy. But so, to keep going in my poster, which I'm gonna put right here for now, you could still see Shelly behind it, I have this little balloon with a face on it. And we're gonna pretend this balloon is Drippy. And as the story goes along, I'm gonna move this balloon around the water cycle for what part of the water cycle Drippy is in the story. So let's begin. And this is the simpler version of the Drippy the Raindrop story. I have another version that's a little longer. So if this one's too simple, let's try the other one. So, The Many Adventures of Drippy the Raindrop. Drippy the water droplet was floating in the ocean. He waved hello to his friend Mr. Sun. So it looks like this story is starting with Drippy in the ocean. So in my poster, I could see down here there's a bunch of water on the ground. So I'm gonna put Drippy right about here to start the story. So let's see what happens. Mr. Sun was making Drippy too hot. Drippy saw a cloud. That cloud looks like a nice place to cool off, he said. And look, in our poster, there's a cloud right over here in the sky, right next to Mr. Sun. And just like that, he was flying up, up, up to the cloud. Drippy was evaporating. And that is our first big word of the water cycle. Can you guys say evaporation? Great job. That's a really big word. So evaporation is our first water cycle word. And it is right here in my poster. So Drippy started here, and we're gonna follow this arrow up, up, up to evaporation. And that is when the sun heats the water and it gets so, so, so hot that it turns into a vapor, which a vapor is just the gas form of water. So Drippy is evaporating up. Let's see what happens next. Drippy landed on the cloud where he met another water droplet. So Drippy's in the cloud now. I'm gonna move him to my cloud. I'm Captain Salty, and I love condensation. It is so nice to form a giant cloud with all the other water droplets, said Captain Salty. So Captain Salty brought us to our next water cycle word, and that is condensation. Can you guys say that? Very good. Now, condensation is what's happening when you see clouds in the sky. The water was on the ground, it got heated by the sun, and it started to go all the way up where it will join all the other water vapors and form a cloud. So Drippy is in the cloud, and he's in condensation right now. Let's see what's gonna happen next. This cloud is getting too full of water. It's time to jump back to Earth as rain or snow. Are you ready? The captain asked Drippy. Let's go, shouted Drippy as he jumped off the storm cloud. He fell with the rain towards the ground. Drippy was part of precipitation. And that is our next water cycle word. Drippy is now part of precipitation. Can you say that big word at home? Very good. Now, we've got to move Drippy in our poster. So, he was part of condensation when he first got to the cloud, but then the cloud was getting heavy. Look at that storm cloud over there now. And it was getting too heavy to hold the water, so it had to let some out. And so Drippy fell with the rain as part of precipitation. And precipitation is anything that comes down from the clouds. It could be rain, it could be snow, it could be hail or sleet, but if it's coming down from the clouds, it is part of precipitation. So Drippy is falling from the sky right now with the rain. Drippy looked down as he fell. He saw a stream and thought that would be the perfect place to land. Sliding down a rock, Drippy landed in the stream he had seen from above. Woohoo, he shouted. The rain stopped. Drippy floated back to the ocean with the other water droplets. This is called collection. I love to float, he said. So that is our final water cycle word, collection. Can you guys say that at home? Say collection. Awesome. So after the water falls from the sky, it all goes back to the ground again. And that's where it's collected in collection to start all over again. So Drippy's about there now. And do you guys remember where he started when we started the story? It was like an inch that way, right there. And that's the cool thing about the water cycle is it just keeps going and going and going. It never stops. That was our last page of the book. But look, because it's a cycle, if I wanted to read the story again, I love to float, he said. I could go right back to the beginning of the book and it makes total sense. Drippy the water droplet was floating. See that? So that was our story and I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to learn more about the water cycle, I have another, The Adventures of Drippy the Raindrop, and the other one's a little bit longer. And I'm also going to post an activity video so you guys can make the water cycle in your own house. So I hope you guys liked the story and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.